Hey crochet friends, I'm Tiffany and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to walk you through how to crochet these really simple coffin coasters for Halloween. I think I'm going to do the tutorial with this color. I feel like it'll show up the best. But these two were made with Red Heart Super Saver in black and in charcoal. But this coaster was made with I Love This Yarn. And then the color is this. So I'm not even going to pronounce that, but that's what it is. And I didn't keep track of how much yards you're going to need. But if you keep all of them the same color, you're definitely not going to need a whole skein. It doesn't take a whole lot of yarn. And then for the embroidery, you're going to need floss. So any color that you would like. And I kept the strand intact. I didn't pull any pieces to make it any skinnier. But again, you can totally customize the embroidering part. You will need a 5mm crochet hook. You will need a pair of scissors. And you will finally need a darning needle. Even with the embroidery, I still used my darning needle. So you don't need a skinnier embroidery needle for this. But grab all that and we will get started. Okay, we are going to start with a slip knot. So I lay my yarn like this. I pinch the bottom with my thumb and pointer. And then I guide the yarn and then place it between my middle and ring finger so that there's a little loop. Make a heart, go underneath this loop, turn just your right hand so that there's an X, and then turn both your hands together and then grab this yarn and only hold on to that and then pull your hands apart till you can't pull anymore. And you have your slip knot. Put the hook through that loop and then pull these two strands to get that knot closer to your hook. I like to be able to look down it so it's not too snug. Then we're going to chain 8. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time and pull it through the next loop. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, pull it through the next loop. Keep doing that 8 times. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. In the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a half double crochet and in each chain across. So this is the second chain from the hook. To do a half double crochet, you go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, then go into the chain. So I go under the top loop, go behind the yarn, pull the yarn just through the chain. You have 3 loops on your hook. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, and then take this loop through all 3 of these loops. And then pull down on your chains. It makes it a lot easier to pull it through all those loops. And then you're going to do a half double crochet in the rest. So wrap the yarn around first, go into the next chain, go behind your yarn, pull it through the chain. You have your 3 loops. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, pull it through all 3 of those loops. You're going to have 7 half double crochets at the end of this row. Like that. Then you're going to chain 1, so wrap the yarn around, pull through, you're going to turn your work. Then you're going to do 2 half double crochets in this first stitch. So you see that space there, that's the first stitch. And then you go under the top 2 loops, that's the top of your stitch. In case you don't know, it's super beginner friendly video. So wrap the yarn around, go into that space. Go behind your yarn, pull it through the stitch, wrap the yarn around, pull through all 3, and you're going to do the same exact thing in that stitch. So you're going to have 2 half double crochets just in the first stitch. And then you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the remaining stitches all the way across. So just 1 half double crochet in the rest. You're going to have 8 half double crochets. So that's 4 because we have 2 in the first stitch. That's 3, that's 4. We need 4 more. That's 5. 6. 7, and then 8 is going to be a little difficult. Your last half double crochet, let me just rephrase that. It's going to be a little difficult. It likes to face the back, so you should see one of the loops, but it's angled. So I have a frog in my throat. But just know that there are 2 loops. They're just always going to face the back at the very end. So just make sure you're going through the correct 2 loops, and that's your final stitch. And also keep track of your stitches so you don't ever drop a stitch because you just don't think that that was the last stitch. You're going to chain 1 and turn. And then for row 3 to row 13, we're doing the exact same thing. 2 half double crochets in the very first stitch and then 1 half double crochet in the rest. So go in the very first stitch and put 2 half double crochets in that stitch. Then do 1 half double crochet in the rest. And then for this row, you're going to have 9 stitches. So you're always going to just go 1 number higher every single row. Okay, at the end of row 13, you're going to chain 1 and turn. And then for rows 14 to 19, you're going to be doing the same steps, but then the half double crochets in between is just always going to be a different amount. But you're going to do a half double crochet decrease at the beginning and at the end of every single row from here on out. So to do a decrease, you're going to wrap the yarn around, go into the first stitch like you normally would, go behind your yarn, pull it through the stitch, but you're not going to complete that. You're going to wrap the yarn around and then go into the next stitch. Go behind your yarn, pull it through the stitch. Now you have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to wrap the yarn around and pull through all 5. Then you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 15 stitches. You'll have 2 stitches left to do your other decrease. So go into the very next stitch with 1 half double crochet and do that 15 more times. The next stitch, do 1, and the next stitch, do 1. And 15, and then we have 2 stitches left to do our next decrease. So wrap the yarn around, go into the next stitch, go behind your yarn, pull up a loop, then you're going to wrap the yarn around and go into that final stitch, go behind your yarn, pull it through the loop. You have your 5 loops, wrap the yarn around and pull through all 5. So you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to do the same thing, half double crochet decrease with the first 2 stitches, wrap the yarn around, go into the first stitch, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through all those loops. And then you're going to do 13 half double crochets, and you're going to have 2 stitches left. So do 1 half double crochet in the next for 13 times. And 13, and then this is where your last stitch is not going to hug the back anymore because it's a part of a decrease. So the last 2 stitches from here on out, it's going to be a lot easier to see. Do your decrease, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, and then go into the next stitch. Behind your yarn, pull up a loop, then wrap the yarn around and pull through. Then chain 1, turn, and keep repeating that. Half double crochet at the beginning and at the end, and then 1 half double crochet in between till you get to row 19. So at the end of row 19, you're gonna have 7 stitches, but that is all that you're doing. And I will meet you at the end of row 19. Okay, at the end of row 19, you're just gonna wrap the yarn around and pull through, and then you're gonna cut your yarn not too long because you just want to weave this in. Pull through. Get it on your darning needle, and I like to turn it around so it's the back of the stitches, and then you just go underneath some loops, pretty shallow, so you don't see it on the front side. Go in one direction, then rotate this, and we'll go down a row and go in the other direction. And then you want to weave in your beginning tail as well, exactly like that. Have like a couple feet. And then I like to go all the way down and tie a knot. So how I tie a knot is I wrap it around my finger one time, and then I roll this down my finger. So it starts doing that. Then I take my middle finger and then pull all of that down. And then it collects and creates a knot. That's how I make my knots when I'm sewing. Now, if you want this exactly the same, I put my rest in peace in the same exact spots and stitches. So I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm on the 5th row. And then I have a decrease, so that's 1 whole stitch, 2, 3, 4. So let's find that over here. Am I on the right side? Yeah, I am on the right side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th row. Then you've got the 1 stitch, 2, 3, 4. So I roughly know to start attaching my yarn about here on the back. So because there's a knot, I just go underneath some strings of this yarn. It has individual tiny strings attached to it, so I don't fully go under a stitch. I like go in the strand of the yarn like that. And now that it's attached, now you can find the spot you want to go in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. I'm between the 4th and 5th below. Is it here? I think it's on the right side of that. It's on the left side of that bump. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is in this stitch. And then I just go over to the next hole right here, and then I work on the P, and I come over to this spot, go back where that is, and I go back down here, and cross over to here, and I cross over to here, like that. Then I go up here and let's see how many stitches this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I go to the left of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this hole is what I need. That's how you do the P. And you just come over 1 stitch away. And the I is the simplest part. You just do that. Super simple. Then you come over here and then you work on the R. And it's going to be similar to the P. So you just make like your arrow shape, the point. Then I come over, I think I'm in the middle of a stitch though. No, I'm not. I cross a whole stitch. Hopefully this isn't too confusing. You can slow down the video. So I'm trying to hold it fairly close so you can really see what I'm doing. There you go. And then you can always kind of manipulate your floss if you want it a little bit more rounder than these sharp points and stuff. But that's basically how you do the rest in peace. And then I take my needle through, make a hole. There we go. I want it to be twisted. Then I take it and I guide it all the way down. I do a second one, so go through, so there's a loop. Like that. Now that there's a knot, you can feed this yarn under some strands and then it won't come out because there's a knot there. And you can hide this as many times as you want. If you want this to be where you can't see this at all, if you flip this over, you can do 2. So these don't have a back. So if you flip it over, you'll see all this. And you can add these together so that it'll be seamless. You won't see the inside and it'll be thicker. It'll be a chunkier coaster. You can also do another knot and then continue to weave it again. Okay, I have another couple feet of new string just so I don't run out, because when you do these longer stretches with the spider web, it kind of eats up the yarn. So again, you are going to attach, so maybe I'll do one over in this area. So you want to just go under, maybe I'll go this way, some strands. Like that. And then I'm right here, so I'll just come out this spot. And then you want a triangle and then a line down the middle. So let's try that. And I'm going to come over. I like that better. Then I'm going to find the middle. Okay. And then you're going to make these lines. So because the top point is so small, I just go like angle this way and then angle this way, just the very top part. So like that. I'm on the inside of that white. It's kind of like that. Then you want to come down. And then this is when I do a V for the rest per side. I don't know why I was all the way over there. Like that. And then you kind of just repeat that. You make them bigger if you want, but that's basically how you would do the cobweb. So I'm just gonna stop there. You got it from here. And like I said before, you can double this up. You could seam this around. You could single crochet an edge. You could just find a tutorial on how to add an edging to your work. And then that way this can be totally seamless. I don't mind this. That way you can just whip up a lot more coasters, because if you want a set of 4, you'd have to do 8 coasters. I hope you love this pattern, and I hope it was easy to follow, and have fun crocheting your coffin coasters. Happy Halloween. Bye, crochet friends.